Vian opened her eyes and found herself on the hospital bed, just like her last dream. Her heart dropped as she quickly got up, and first thing she thought about is her heart was beating so fast in the fear that her dream might have come true. She put her hand on her belly and screamed. Your baby is fine, Vian. Please lay down. The lady doctor smiled at her and tried to make her lay down. Are you saying the truth? Is my baby alright? She again nodded. Your baby is healthy and safe. You should be happy because you are going to give birth soon. A sigh of relief left from her mouth as she closed her eyes, holding the inner fear and pain that was slowly vanishing. Thank you so much, God. Thank you so much. I'll call your husband. She walked out of the room, and right after Jungkook walked inside, he saw Vian sitting resting her back to the headboard while her eyes were closed. He went near her. Are you okay? She slowly opened her eyes and looked at him, who was worried, looking at her. Her eyes spoke everything before her mouth too, as tears started dropping from her eyes. What happened to you? Why are you crying? Is it hurting somewhere? He quickly hugged her while she let out all her tears on his shoulder. I was scared. I thought I lost this child. He caressed her hair. Nothing can ever touch you or this child as long as I'm here. He didn't say anything further but hugged her tightly. First time in his life he experienced how it feels to see the person said you love. First time he felt the warmth of love and a simple hug that he didn't want to let go of. First time he realized how it is to be falling in love with someone. Thank you for protecting us. She broke the hug and looked at him. I will always. Let's go, we are going home. She nodded. Everyone looked down, seeing the anger fuming in his eyes. There is someone for sure who was giving back up to them, or maybe helping them without getting noticed. Who is that? We don't know. Our plan was to the point. We attacked on Jungkook's car and were about to take Vian, but from nowhere few black vans came in the middle and started firing. And before we do anything, Jungkook's car was out of our sight. Do you think Jungkook already knew it all beforehand? Never ever. There is someone who is helping him without getting noticed. Or maybe helping that girl. Chungi looked at him and raised his brow. Vian? Just give me a little time, boss. I'll find out who is behind all this. Find out who got the guts to mess up with me. John Jungkook, your luck won't save you for long now. Jungkook slowly closed the door of Ian's room after she slept and came downstairs. Jungkook, you need to see a doctor too. That bullet has hit your chest so hard. You have so much internal bleeding. She stopped when she noticed Jungkook's dark eyes. Who did that? I have no idea. I was just... You are the one who is hired to take care of her, then how the hell you don't know? She flinched slightly because the way Jungkook shouted at her, it was something that never happened before because she's like a big sister to him and was there for him since he joined this gang. Why aren't you believing me? I seriously don't know how she got that cyanide in her drink. Cyanide is a kind of poison which can kill a person instantly if given in much amount, but if you give it in a small amount, it slowly affects the body and soon causes death by preventing the cell from using oxygen. It is more harmful for heart and brain. You are the one who gave her that drink, right? Then how can you say that? Do you even know that the child could have died if she didn't got the treatment on time? Yes, but wait, suddenly something hit her mind. I think I know who it can be. Mark. What? I was taking that drink upstairs in Maya's room when I got your call, and when I came back here, Mark was already standing there. What was he doing? He gave me the bouquet that you sent for Ryan and told me to give it to her. Jungkook frowned. But I didn't send any flowers. What? Then why did he lie? A guard from special team came inside. Boss, we have found out who attacked you. Jungkook's hand clenched. Who? It was the Lion Gang. We have looked in the CCTV footages of that area and found out that those cars belong to Lion Gang. But there was something else which is confusing. What is that? Those two black vans who came out of nowhere, it seemed like they also belonged to the Lion Gang, but why did they attack their own members and stop them, and because of that you were able to escape? Are you sure those were from the Lion Gang? It had Lion's logo. It could be possible that someone was trying to help us, but why? Why would anyone do that? Just keep your investigation on. And also, I have another task for you. He nodded. Keep a man behind Mark. Let the child play his little game for some time. He walked away from there. When Jungkook left, the bodyguard looked at Seolgi. You were driving boss's car, right? She frowned. Yes, so what? He shook his head. Nothing, just asking. I'll take my leave. How are you feeling? Wayan was standing near the window looking outside. She doesn't reply, neither she looked at him. I guess you're fine. He walked and stood up at just a little distance from her. Will it happen with me always if I stay with you? She slowly turned back at him. Will I or this child ever be safe with you? Are you really asking me this? She walked near him to reduce the distance. Yes, and I hope for a better answer from you. I speak through my actions. That's not enough to tell me I'm safe. I need words. Sorry. Her eyes softened. She spoke after some time. I didn't want you to apologize. I'm just asking you that do I have to live like this in fear all my life? Try to put your trust in me. She noticed the blood stain on his coat. You got blood on your coat. Jungkook looked down at his shirt. I'll go and change it. He was about to leave, but Wayan grabbed his hand, making him look at her. She walked and stood in front of him. Stay here like this. She took off his coat and started to unbutton his shirt. Jungkook was admiring her. Day by day feels guilty for his actions in the past. He knew that those scars can't be healed, but he wanted you to accept his apology. Just for once. Wayan unbuttoned the shirt and looked at the wound on his chest, which was bandaged, but still blood was coming out. She looked at Jungkook. He sure feels no emotions. I'm working on it. Why didn't you go to the hospital? There isn't any bullet. It will heal with time. Time may heal the wounds, but it does not erase the scars. She made him sit on the bed and brought a first aid box. She started to clean the area around it and started to do dressing. Time doesn't erase, but it invites you to heal. He was expecting a look from her, but she didn't. But not with the same person who gave you them. There was silence for some time. She finished the dressing and got up. I want to rest. Jungkook nodded and grabbed his shirt while getting up. I might be late tonight, so take care. She nodded. Heard that you are good with weapons. Just like a member of fighting department should be. Mark said, focusing on the road ahead while Baekhyun was giving him suspicious looks. And what else are you good at? Enough to get a chance to work with a member of special team, he said, looking at Baekhyun while he chuckled. Do you know where we are going? I just follow orders. I seriously don't like your attitude. Anyways, have you heard of Black Dolphin? Mark's grip tightened on the steering wheel. Black Dolphin Prison? Yes. Gang members are allowed to go there? No, we keep our special guests there, and there is someone more special that we are visiting today. Why are you taking me then? To introduce you to that someone special. I was gone for all these months and you didn't even tell me what's happening here. Everything was in control before time and I didn't want to disturb you, although you have done a lot for me. You are making me feel like an outsider. How was your work? He said, changing the topic. Better than I thought. When I said I have the best man, that means I can undoubtedly leave the gang in his hands. Jungkook nodded. Did you find out who were those men who attacked you? They were from the Lion Gang. Mr. Lee watched him for some time, then spoke. We don't have any enmity with them. Jungkook leaned back. Seems like we have past grudges. Can be possible. Things got really messed up. But one thing I'm going to ask is something I've never thought you would hide from me. But looks like you want to work solely. Jungkook slightly tilted his head and looked at him. I never had anything from you. Mr. Lee chuckled and nodded. That's what I thought too, but looks like we still have trust issues. Jungkook didn't say anything. Min Suk-kyu, you have him, right? Who? I thought we have enough transparency. You've been checking on me. He shook his head. I have worked for this gang since your father hired me, not because I was his brother, but because I was an outcast. I worked with him enough to differentiate between who is Park Kyung-jun and who is Min Suk-kyu. Why are you telling me this? To ask you that why his father is still alive, right? Are you doing this to win her heart, or forget that he's the killer of your father? Something more important than that. Didn't know there's something this much beautiful exists here. It took 3 years to build this place. She touched a tulip with the tip of her finger and nodded. Good thing takes time. I love these flowers. Jungkook walked a little behind her and held the same flower she has her fingers on. When this child comes in this world, I want to give it all the happiness. She chuckled, making him look at her. Did I say something wrong? She shook her head. It's just strange. None of us wanted to have this child, but now we both are waiting for it to come in this world. How heartbreaking moment will it be for this child when it comes to know that it was just a mistake, a terrible memory which will always remind me of what I have been through without any fault. Jungkook's eyes lowered as the feeling of guilt again rose up. Every time when he tried to make things better, she always reminded him how terrible he was. How can you be so sure that we will be with you forever? Jungkook frowned in confusion while she turned towards him. Did you forget the rules? No, but I just don't want to follow them anymore. You want to give up? Jungkook smiled and looked at her. Things are different now. That doesn't mean you can forget who I am. Of course I can never. Mark was walking behind Baekhyun, but his eyes observed each and every cell. Entire time he was casually observing the way he took Black Dolphin prison. Baekhyun stopped in front of a cell and took out the key. He unlocked it and they both walked in. Mark's hand clenched into fist when he saw the pen sleeping on the floor. It was hard to recognize him as all the features were covered with long hair and beard. Baekhyun looked at Mark. Who is he? Someone very special. He has spent 35 years of his life here in this prison. Do you wanna know why? Betrayal? Hit the right spot. He came here to spy on this gang, but look at him now. What will do with him now? Bacon went near that man and shook his shoulder with his foot. Hey, wake up. He's living his best life even in this prison, he said, walking back to Mark while the man slowly opened his eyes. What about his family? Bacon looked at the man and then at Mark. Loner, I guess. We are taking him back to the headquarters. Mark frowned. Why? Confidential. Wait here, I'll be back in a minute. She nodded. Jungkook ran inside while she stood there leaning her back slightly against the pole. She came here for the checkup, although it could be done in the mansion itself, but she wanted to come to the hospital so Jungkook didn't deny. She was waiting for him when suddenly someone bumped into her shoulder. She looked at the person but he walked away from there. He was all covered with hood and mask. She looked down and there was a paper on the floor. She looked at the direction where the man disappeared and then bent slightly and picked it up. She opened it and took a look. Do we really want me to do this soon? Ready to go? She quickly hid the paper in her fist and looked at Jungkook, who was standing behind her. She slowly nodded. She threw the paper inside the bin while following him to the car. Mark and Baekhyun are missing, and they took Min Seok-kyu with them. Everyone left confused listening about this new name, while Mr. Lee and Solgi were the only ones who were calm.